everybody, either welcome or welcome back to my channel. I think my first artist analysis on Little Big Town was pretty good, so now I'm going to do another one. But since I want my artist analyses to reflect the wide variety of my music taste, this time I'm going to analyze a solo female pop artist, Pink. In my opinion, Pink epitomizes music that was made by the modern woman for modern women. Even as her music evolved throughout the career, she never ceased to sing songs that encapsulate the complex emotional roller coaster that is being a woman in the 21st century. Pink has had a presence in the music industry and produced so much music that one video just won't cover it all. So just like I did with my Little Big Town video, I'm going to split this into two parts. Today, I'm going to talk about Pink's early life, rise to fame, and first 4 studio albums. Which artists would you like to hear an analysis of like this? Let me know in the comments down below, and to get them, subscribe to my channel. But now, let's get started.
Alicia Beth Moore, better known by her stage name Pink, was born on September 8, 1979 in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, to a Jewish mother and Catholic father who got divorced when she was 9 years old. Throughout her teens, Pink wrote a lot of music as an emotional outlet. She joined her first band, Middle Ground, when she was in high school, which broke up when they lost a battle of the bands. It was around this time that Pink adopted her stage name from the Reservoir Dogs character Mr. Pink and began performing in Philadelphia clubs. At this time, Pink auditioned for an all-female group called Basic Instinct and got in, but they broke up before releasing any material. 2 years later, Pink formed an R&B group alongside 2 girls her age named Sharon Flanagan and Chrissy Conway called Choice. Their first song was called Key to My Heart, and it earned the group a record deal with LaFace Records. However, L.A. Reid of LaFace Records gave Pink the choice to either go solo or go home, so Choice disbanded in 1998. After starting her solo career with LaFace Records, Pink released her debut single, There You Go, in February 2000, which peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. 2 months later, Pink's debut album, Can't Take Me Home, was released and experienced great commercial success. It reached number 26 on the Billboard 200 Albums chart and was certified double platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, or RIAA. Of the 13 tracks on Can't Take Me Home, its 3 singles were There You Go, You Make Me Sick, and Most Girls. Most Girls was on the Billboard Hot 100 for 16 weeks, peaking at number 4. You Make Me Sick was written by Brains DeMilo, Anthony President, and Mark Tabb, and the single peaked at number 39 on the Billboard Hot 100. These singles and the album they appeared on won Pink a 2000 Billboard Music Awards Female New Artist of the Year award. Now let's talk about Pink's second album, one of my personal favorites. Pink's goal with MISSUNDAZTOOD was to deviate from the cookie-cutter pop act she'd been previously marketed as and to be taken more seriously as an artist. In fact, the name of the album comes from the sentiment Pink held that audiences held inaccurate beliefs about her. Pink sought to have more creative control with this album than she did with Can't Take Me Home, and to touch on her own personal experiences and vulnerabilities throughout her life. So she decided to collaborate with singers and producers that she looked up to, such as Linda Perry, Dallas Austin, and Scott Storch, among others. Can't Take Me Home was mostly made up of R&B music, but MISSUNDAZTOOD fused R&B with metal, new wave, hip-hop, and disco. At the 45th Grammy Awards, MISSUNDAZTOOD was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album. There were 4 singles on Misunderstood: Don't Let Me Get Me, Just Like a Pill, Get the Party Started, and Family Portrait. Of these 4, Get the Party Started, the lead single on Misunderstood, is probably the happiest single on the album, with lyrics by a speaker who is ready to party hard. The other 3 singles, however, are much deeper and darker. Through the other singles, Pink sought to make herself vulnerable through songs with lyrics about self-doubt, family issues, and rebellion. In Don't Let Me Get Me, Pink expresses feelings of self-hatred and low self-esteem that she has personally struggled with. The song peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, even in spite of widespread criticism of the song's self-hating lyrical content. The song Just Like a Pill was co-written by Dallas Austin and Pink and used drug abuse as a metaphor for leaving an unhealthy relationship. Just like the last single I discussed, Just Like a Pill peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. The single Family Portrait is about the events leading up to Pink's parents' divorce, sung from the perspective of herself at 9 years old when it was happening. It peaked at number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100. Pink's third studio album, Try This, was released on November 11th, 2003. Tim Armstrong of the band Rancid co-wrote 8 of the 13 tracks on the album. Although the album reached number 9 on the Billboard Top 200's chart, its sales were significantly lower than its predecessor, Misunderstood. The first 3 tracks on the album, Trouble, God is a DJ, and Last to Know respectively, are the 3 singles of Try This. Trouble peaked at number 68 on the Billboard Hot 100. Its lyrics are about a rebel or criminal who is, well, in trouble. Year after the release of Try This, Trouble was featured in 4 films: White Chicks, Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement, Miss Congeniality 2 Armed and Fabulous, and Ice Princess, though in this last one it was only an instrumental. God is a DJ, which is my personal favorite off of this album, was released 6 days after Trouble. The song describes God and the world he created using the metaphor of a dance club and is essentially about letting go, loving life, and living life to the fullest. Unfortunately, however, this song didn't make it onto the US Billboard Hot 100, but did make it onto similar charts in other countries, and not just English-speaking ones. Last to Know was only actually released as a single in some European countries, and even in those countries, it barely made it into the top 20 on their singles charts. That's probably why this song isn't as well known as Pink's other hits. Just a little something I'd like to share with you about this song. When it was released, The Guardian left a review that sarcastically roasted this song, claiming that, to quote, Last to Know spends 4 minutes howling ferocious obscenities because someone has committed the unpardonable sin of turning down complimentary tickets to a Pink gig. I'm not going to get too deep into it because we have more to cover, but that quote, while true to some extent, when you really listen and think about it more, the situation in the lyrics is a little deeper than the pity hissy fit The Guardian roasted this song as. It's really a breakup song is what it is. After the commercial underperformance of Try This, it took 2 years for Pink to release her next studio album, I'm Not Dead. The album's title refers to the things the then 27-year-old had learned in recent years as she transitioned from teenhood to adulthood, particularly after her father suffered a heart attack when she was 25. As Pink claims, the songs on this album reflect her desire to write lyrical content that was less focused on her individual self and more on the world and people around her, which was one of the things she'd come to realize recently in Coming of Age, which, as I just mentioned, was where the title of the album comes from. I'm Not Dead saw changes not only to Pink's lyrical content, but her musical style. In contrast to the R&B, metal, and pop sounds of Pink's first 3 albums, the songs on I'm Not Dead contain more elements of acoustic, folk rock, hard rock, power pop, new wave, and dance music. The song's title track, which is number 6 on the track listing, is the first quote-unquote poetic song Pink ever wrote entirely on her own and is far less cartoonish and dramatic, so to speak, than most of her previous songs. Singles on I'm Not Dead include Stupid Girls, Who Knew, Nobody Knows, Dear Mr. President, 'Cause I Can, Leave Me Alone, I'm Lonely, and You Plus Your Hand. Wow, that's a lot of singles. 7 to be exact, the most she had ever released on one album. Talk about coming back from a flop. The song Stupid Girls condemns sexism and encourages intelligence in young women. This song was what really revived Pink's popularity after her popularity declined with Try This. When the single debuted, it reached number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100, her highest debut ever. The song eventually peaked at number 13, her highest peak since Just Like a Pill back in 2003. The second song on the album, her single Who Knew, peaked at number 9. One of the main criticisms of Who Knew was its similarity, both musically and lyrically, to Kelly Clarkson's also recent re-release, Since You Been Gone. Who Knew is about the loss of a good friend and about how the speaker never thought she'd miss the friend the way she does when singing the song. 6 months later, the single Nobody Knows was released, but unfortunately never made it onto the Billboard Hot 100. With her single Dear Mr. President, sung alongside the Indigo Girls, Pink pushed boundaries with this open letter to the then President George W. Bush, criticizing him for his opposition to gay marriage, the Iraq War, his perceived lack of empathy for the poor and homeless, and the No Child Left Behind Act. Like Nobody Knows, this single didn't make it onto the Billboard Hot 100, though this was likely because of the song's experimental and political nature. 'Cause I Can was released in October 2007, and its lyrics were about Pink's philosophy of playing by her own rules, and she even admitted that she's a bit of a quote-unquote walking contradiction and a hypocrite in response to the song's contrast to the anti-consumerist lyrical content of Stupid Girls. 'Cause I Can was far more popular in Australia and New Zealand than in any other country, including its native US. You Plus Your Hand, which is track number 9 on I'm Not Dead, was released on August 14th, 2006. The single was controversial for its strong language and sexual content, even in comparison to Pink's other music, particularly because of its references to masturbation. In fact, the song was so racy that Pink was not allowed to sing it on American Idol, so she sang Who Knew for her Idol performance instead. Even in spite of its controversial nature, You Plus Your Hand peaked at number 9 on the US Billboard Hot 100. But that wasn't the last of Pink's music. She's released so much more and is still going strong today in 2022. To learn more about this, check out part 2 of my artist analysis on Pink. But until then, please like this video, comment on it, and subscribe to my channel to get more of this. Bye!